Hi, this is Cheryl back with you from Farmhouse Frugally. So I have decorated my home for spring, and I wanted to also let you know who won the $100 cash prize for the giveaway. Thank you so much for all of your support and your kind comments. I am so delighted to have reached 1,000 subscribers, and I so appreciate your being here with me and supporting my channel. If you are new to Farmhouse Frugally, on this channel I do a lot of crafts, a lot of furniture flips, phenomenal dump finds, dump hauls, and from those dump hauls, some really awesome trash to treasures. So I hope that you will subscribe if you're not already. And today we are going to decorate for spring. In my living room, I have taken away all of the Christmas things behind my couch and left rather a blank slate. I took off the sleigh-looking metal pieces, rather contemporary, and added the spring wreaths to my shutters to begin giving that a little bit more of a spring pop. I emptied my coffee table of everything that was on it, and I began with one of my favorite projects today. I took this beautiful wooden box that I had gotten for a couple of dollars at a yard sale. It was full of antique tools, and my husband wanted the tools, and I wanted the box. So I took some lace fabric or a runner and some greenery and put that all around the inside of the box with a wonderful little bunny that I have had for quite some time. And I then remembered that I had these little cloth or burlap carrots that I had gotten on a string for 75% off at Hobby Lobby, and I thought they made the cutest little garden for the bunny, and I just love the way that this came out. I emptied the bookcase tops of anything Christmassy, and I like to begin by just putting on neutral items and then adding a few things that speak to spring, and then maybe a little bit of a plant here, a little bit of greenery, a little pop of color, something that has more of a spring feel, but in general keeping the basic items neutral so that they can really be all year long. So I really just liked that. Our nest, a couple of birds, and some plants. Now the foyer is already really rather springy. I had done that a little while back and kept that really in the springtime. I never really did too much in the way of Christmas there. I had just recently done this foyer over, if you saw that video, and so I just kept those blues and whites, and I had the little kitty that I had done a little bit ago, and really just kept that the way that it was. There was just one area in the foyer that didn't really have anything, and that was this little table. And so I found this little nest sign that I had had for a while, and I just love the color there. But I wanted to make my wooden bowl look a little bit more like the actual metal sign. So I took some of raffia and I made a little bit of a nest out of it and put it in the wooden bowl. And then I found some of these speckled eggs that I had and a little blue ceramic bird, and I just layered them with some feathers to just kind of make that pop there on that little table. That's the only thing that I did to the foyer to add a little bit more spring, and I really love the colors and the way that that came out before moving on to my mantle. I just took everything off, cleaned it really well, and started with a blank slate. In keeping with the greens and creams, I started with a green garland from Hobby Lobby that I had purchased last year at 50% off, and a few little, just a basket full of greens, and decided I really needed a statement piece. So I went out to the garage, and this is a big black mirror with beautiful beveled edges that we had gotten at the dump at the last dump haul. So I pulled out a couple of different paints to create something more in the cream color. As much as I love a black mirror, it just wasn't going to go for this space. And I added a little of the wall color as well to make that a little more creamy. And then I just gave that 2 coats of paint, then took a razor, cleaned up the mirror, and then when that was done, I put that mirror up there on the mantle and that was a phenomenal backdrop for what I wanted from there. So I took out some other items I had put together last year, like the spindle with the birdhouse on top, gathered some of these beautiful pieces that I've had for a number of years, my wooden bunny, and this cute little house that needed a little bird. So that's a salt and pepper shaker, that little white bird poking out of there. But I thought that was so cute. And so it is kind of understated, but really quite lovely, I think, for spring. And then I moved on to my dining room, where my hutch is already pretty full. So I just wanted to add a few pops up on the top there. I had taken down the Christmas items and a few places here and there that I removed some pops of red. And then I gathered up some purple lavender and that little bunny cage I made in one of my flips with the IOD stamp and the chicken wire. And then really I had a few things of lavender, so I ended up using more of the purple lavender in the dining room than I had done in the past. I have a ladder in the corner, so I added a little bit there. And so just a few pops here and there of that purple lavender and of a few greens. I kept my angel out for now that I just made. I just really loved that. And I think just with those pops of lavender and purple, that really made the hutch look a lot more spring. And in my most recent video, you had seen these items that I had put together for spring. And so I just added a little more lavender over there. On my dining room table, I just added a trencher full of some greens and some candles, and then moved over to my little desk in the corner. I had a few pieces that I liked, but I felt like it was a little bit bare, so I wanted to add one or two things from my most recent dump haul to give that a little bit more of a pop. You may remember a couple weeks ago I made this cute little bench, the little black bench. Well, it had the old-fashioned springs in it. So my husband cut them out for me, and I took them upstairs and cut away the old fabrics and strings and gave them a good cleaning. And I ended up with 3 of those springs, and I decided to just use one here in this video. I had an old bird's nest I had cut off of an old wreath, filled it with some mosses to make it a little bit new, and went into that little stash of eggs I had bought, I think at Hobby Lobby for a few dollars. And then remember last week I had printed these beautiful free printables, so I took one of those tags and a little bit of the Dollar Tree lace, and I added that onto the tag and then onto the wire spring. And then that was all there was to it. I think that it came out so sweet and very vintage looking, and it just added to that little bit of a pop over there in the corner, just a little something that I think that needed. And then I went on to one more project that I wanted over there on that table, using this very bizarre looking item I had gotten at the dump, I think a couple of months ago now. I'm not exactly sure of its function. If you know, please leave me a comment. Unfortunately, I did not get the whole thing in the frame, but here it is once I painted it cream. Same idea. It was just wooden before. Just has this round base at the bottom. It has like a handle full of holes. And after painting it cream, I did distress it pretty well. I wanted that wood accent to pop through, and then I just added a pot of lavender onto it, and then I tried this little bird, and I think altogether that was just a really quick and easy flip from that item. So you'll have to let me know what you think. Before moving on to the kitchen, I did want to say thank you once again, hitting 1,000 subscribers and choosing the $100 winner from the comments section at random. And that winner is Grace Grasso. So Grace, I'll leave my email in the description box. Email me, and I will let you know what we have to do to get you that $100. Thank you, everyone, for your support and your wonderful comments. Now on to the kitchen. Here I did very few things. I had this grain scoop, and I just added a bouquet of some flowers I got at, I think, Michael's when they went out of business at 80% off. my wreath, which is hanging on my sliding barn door of my pantry, which I absolutely love. Then you had seen me in my most recent video just add the birds to the book and some of the other items on top of the blue piece of furniture. And then I kept a lot of the Valentine type things on the counter because it already spoke spring to me, and I love those blush tones. And then, oh my goodness, these little chickies I got for 75% off at Hobby Lobby. I think I paid $2. I couldn't pass them up, so adorable. And then just added a bouquet of flowers in the sink corner near the window, and moved on to the bedroom, which in fact I did nothing to because it always looks like this. It always has a spring feel to it. I keep the birdhouses up. I keep the blue and white theme and the flowers and little animals throughout the year just to just brighten up the bedroom. I love using ladders for decorating. I turned a old one of those candlesticks with a bowl into a bird bath in the corner, and that is it. So my whole house is absolutely ready for spring, as am I. Hopefully the weather will cooperate soon, as today it's probably 30 degrees here in New England. So hopefully that will happen soon. So thank you for stopping by. I will talk to you soon, Grace, and I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.